Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. So glad we all have chosen to get together again and hear some words of inspiration here at Unity of Birmingham. Please welcome into your hearts, into your mind, into your consciousness our speaker today. We have a wonderful program prepared for you. And as you show up for yourself, we are showing up for you as well. So enjoy our speaker, enjoy the music, enjoy this time that you've set aside for yourself, for your personal growth, and peace on earth and paradise right here in this moment. So let's go on this journey together and have fun. Love you.
There's a trap in my mind I find sometimes. And the trap door leads to this story that I tell myself that I'm late, that I'm behind, that I've slipped the tracks and I'm no longer on the plan. Of course, my faith teaches me something else, but my human brain is pretty insistent. I've been feeling the weight of that voice in my own life and in my own mind and in the lives of my loved ones in recent months. And that's where this song found its home, is trying to kind of get back to what is true. So I offer it to me, I offer it to you. It's a song I wrote about a month ago. I hope it serves you today. If you're lost and alone, nothing but a heap on the floor, this is what it looks like. Drowning in the fog in your head, pushing you to just get back in bed. This is what it looks like. When everything real feels miles away, feels like you're always gonna feel this way. But you're not broken, you're not flawed, you're not late, no, not at all. This is what it looks like. How the night greets the dawn, the look of lost getting found. This is what it looks like. I know the world seems like it's caving in. Sometimes that's just how new beginnings begin. Yeah, this is what it looks like. And that voice in your head got your dreams marked for dead. This is what it looks like. Flipping channels in your brain, nothing there to ease the pain. This is what it looks like. When everything real feels miles away, feels like you're always gonna feel this way. But you're not broken, you're not flawed, you're not late, no, not at all. This is what it looks like. How the night greets the dawn, the look of lost getting found. This is what it looks like. I know the world seems like it's caving in. Sometimes that's just how new beginnings begin. Yeah, this is what it looks like. You gotta blow by Gibraltar stone on the way to where you belong. Stepping scared into the known unknown. I know this is what it looks like. When you're not broken, you're not flawed, you're not late, no, not at all. This is what it looks like. Yeah. How the night greets the dawn, the look of lost getting found. This is what it looks like, what it looks like when you're not broken, you're not flawed, you're not late, no, not at all. This is what it looks like. How the night greets the dawn, look of lost getting found. This is what it looks like, what it looks like. I know the world seems like it's caving in. Sometimes that's just how happy endings begin. Yeah, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. You're right on time. This is what it looks like. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. This is what it looks like. Yeah. That feels like a good place to start our conversation. Let me set the guitar aside. We'll put Taylor aside for a bit and dig into the message. Okay. How y'all doing? Let's dig in. Let's dig into the message. After this, stepping from a world of less into a life of more. I write these sayings on the back of my car pretty much on a weekly basis. I say sayings, they're usually just words that I come up with. You know, we use a lot of mantras and such in communities like Unity of Birmingham, particularly in before times when I was driving a lot more. I used the thing on the back of my car to help sort of shift my mindset about something. All that to say, at the moment, the back of my car says, "Gently now, we are all going through what none of us has gone through before. Not far now. We are all going through what none of us has gone through before. Not far now." And by the way, if you'd like to see some of these things there, you can find me at Yes Brian Perry in all the places. But there you go. We are all going through what none of us has gone through before, I think, is a really good place to start from as we start looking at, after this, stepping into a new world. What does that look like? I'd like to start by doing a bit of a review, a refresher, because it's been a while since we've been together. It's amazing to me that it was just over a year ago that we met each other when I came by on Super Bowl weekend and spoke at Birmingham. What a privilege that was. And I was so looking forward to coming back and getting to know you more, getting to know Birmingham more. And I guess that'll be another day. But let me kind of refresh some of what I said that day, because it's important that we're on the same page. I wrote this book called The Myth of Certainty and Other Great News. And as I started to speak to that book, and I wanted to sort of frame it for people, what my philosophy was, something emerged unexpected that has become sort of a lens through which I look at the world. And so I want to share with you that lens so that we're on the same page about how I'm seeing this and what I'm coming to our conversation today with in mind. And so there's a lens that I see the world through. There's a lens that I operate and enter in the world through. And that lens is a hula hoop. I know. I didn't intend for it to be a hula hoop either, but that's how it turned out. It's a hula hoop. And the way I like to use the hula hoop, I'm not going to stand up now because, video and all that, but I often will stand up, take the hula hoop like this, and drop it down over me. And the point of the hula hoop is really just to provide a visual of your sphere of influence, of my sphere of influence, of where my world lives. It's roughly the interior of a hula hoop around me. My world does not live where you are, does not live where anybody that I'm perseverating on, be that a politician or a celebrity or a boss or a partner. My world exists fundamentally only in here. As a matter of fact, this is the only place that I experience life. You don't exist for me outside of this circle. Not for me. None of the problems of the world exist for me outside this circle. Not for me. None of the joys are outside this circle. Not for me. This is where my full purview is. With me so far? Cool. And so I use the hula hoop. Keep the hula hoop in mind as we're going, because this is where we're going to be working today. Just in here. Just where you live. Inside the hula hoop. I'm going to set that aside. So entertaining. And it's rainbow colored. Super fun. Anyway, when I wrote The Myth of Certainty, it was me really I was wrestling with uncertainty, with the path that I thought I was taking and how things kept turning and changing and the way life changes. And it occurred to me that I was causing myself so much pain and suffering merely by resisting what is, merely by continuing to bet on some longed for someday, some arrival point after which everything would be fine. Now, some lottery ticket, you know what I mean? And I know you know, and I know, that's just not true. It's just not how it works. None of the people in your world who you see as hugely successful are living the same lives they were all the time. You know, Oprah's not who she was 20 years ago. Springsteen's not who he was 20 years ago. They're all living different careers, different lives. And so it's very clear to me that uncertainty is the zero state. There's nothing in your world or mine that's the same as it was, exactly the same as it was 5 months ago or 5 years ago. Not your job, not your house, not your spouse, not your waistline, not your hairline. Everything is changed because that is the zero state. Change. Okay, that was the whole point there. All of that change we experience in here for each of our own lives. As the pain passes through, as the joy passes through, not staying because it cannot. That's the nature of uncertainty. They pass through here. Okay, great. So this aha that I embraced and kind of explored there became important because of two pieces of wisdom that were brought to me by two different philosophers who are separated by millennia. One philosopher, Epictetus. Epictetus is one of the fundamental figures in the Greek Stoic philosophy movement, a movement that I'm just really a neophyte in. But I love the way he defined our experience and our power in life. He said, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the view we take of them. We are not disturbed by things that happen here, but by the view we take of them." It's not the thing itself, but the view I take of it. All right, that's interesting, thought I. And so I turned to another philosopher, a 20th century philosopher, a gentleman by the name of Jerry Seinfeld. And Jerry Seinfeld, in an episode of his show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, was having a conversation with Trevor Noah from The Daily Show. They were talking about pain. And Jerry was saying that he had come to the conclusion that pain is knowledge rushing in to fill a gap. Pain is knowledge rushing in to fill a gap. Stub your toe, knowledge. There's a table there and you're not paying attention to where you're going. Pain is knowledge rushing in to fill a gap. Here. Okay? And so, in this space, what is happening for me as I begin to embrace uncertainty, that life's zero state has changed, that joys will come into my circle and out again, that pain will come into my circle and out again, that Epictetus reminds us that I'm not disturbed by things, but by the view I take of them. This isn't a Pollyanna thing. It's really just pointing to what is it that is the source of my suffering, and it is my response to it. Okay? And Seinfeld reminds us then, if we know the pain's passing through and the joy's passing through, if we know that it's about how I show up to that pain or joy, then what if I take that pain or joy and make it about the information I was offering? Knowledge rushing in to fill a gap. That's the lens that I'm looking at things through in my world, and that's the lens I'm looking at our topic today through. There's something that, it's worth noting, by the way, that yes, I wrote The Myth of Certainty and Other Great News, and you may wonder if over the last 12 months I have really believed that to be true. The answer about whether I believe it's good news that life is uncertain is in March or April of last year. Not so much. I wasn't feeling so excited about it, but I have come to the conclusion that, yeah, that's on point. It's great news. There's a slogan I think that aging needs. I'm relatively young. I'm 48, but I'm a lot older than I used to be. And that happened a lot faster than I thought it would be. And things change as we age, for sure. I think the slogan for aging ought to be, in the spirit of Epictetus, well, that's new. Because things will be rolling around in my body just like they were always working just fine. Everything's fine. And then the toaster pops and it jumps and I throw my back out. Well, that's new. That didn't used to happen. I think that kind of mindset can serve us as we start looking to what is next in our lives, to what happens after this. I mean, are you starting to feel it? It's tantalizingly close. A return to some degree of normality. It's just so close. And the spring is sort of exacerbating the tantalizingness of it because the weather's starting to warm up and I'm starting to get so excited to embark, which was always the way it was during normal times. All the more so as I, with my pre-existing conditions and living in a multi-generational home, have spent most of the last year at home. It's tantalizingly close to reemerge into our lives. I think that presents an opportunity. Who do we be after this? For most of us, in some way or another, the table's been cleared over the last year, whether you've been going to work or working from home or out of work or whatever your situation has been, the things that you looked to as normal and consistent and ever present in your life have either changed radically or gone away entirely, which creates a really unique, unprecedented opportunity to get kind of a do-over, to get kind of a reset in our lives as we move into what's next. We get to look at what served us and what didn't. Let me put it this way, that as we start to honor uncertainty, as we start to honor Epictetus's approach, that I'm not disturbed by things but the view I take of them, we start to honor that life is not happening to me but through me. And while these events of the last year in many ways happened to us, what comes next will come through us. And Seinfeld reminds us that that pain, that joy, whatever is happening there is not indictment, it's information informing our next moves. Which brought me back to something I did back, I don't know when it was, early aughts probably. My now ex-wife and I were trying to get healthier for a lot of reasons that I won't go into right now. I decided to try one of these sort of elimination diets that involved literally cutting everything out of our diet entirely and then adding it back in very intentionally. And so we eliminated everything from our diet we literally, the first week, you were supposed to eat nothing but vegetable broth. And we made the vegetable broth at home. You're supposed to make your own, so it was super nutrient rich. The result was that our house smelled like a fart for a week, which wasn't awesome. And we were supposed to live on nothing but the vegetable broth for a week. Side note, I was driving a limo at this time in New Orleans, and one of my clients that week happened to be the Temptations, the band The Temptations, which typically when you're picking up a band like that, you drop them off, you pick them up, you drop them off at the venue for the sound check, and you pick them up and drive them home, back to the hotel. Then later on, you drop them off at the venue again, you pick them up after their show. You got all kind of time on your hands in between. Not this time. The Temptations wanted me and another driver that was working this gig to be sort of their body men, to be kind of their bodyguards, their security sort of during the event. As a result, I couldn't leave all day, which meant I couldn't go home to get my veggie broth, which is all I was allowed to eat. And what's more, Emeril Lagasse, the chef, personally catered their dressing room, and they were like, eat up. And I couldn't because I was on this veggie broth. Anyway, that's not relevant to you. Just popped in my head as I was thinking about this. So we are doing this elimination diet where everything that we normally ate was gone. Sound like it might be a good metaphor here? And then we were adding it back in very deliberately to see what impact it would have. And lo and behold, what we found is certain things were better for us than others. For instance, I found protein. If I was eating straight protein as opposed to a lot of carbs, I was full of more energy and I felt more full. I found that when I ate sugar, I felt really sore and moody and grumpy. And so I found that sugar had this kind of negative impact. And so what I was able to start doing, because we had eliminated everything else, was to clearly see the value or lack thereof that these different food things brought into my body and therefore into my experience of my life. Are you with me? Awesome. Well, so the last 12 months, we've been living the mother of all elimination diets. We've been living in our lives the mother of all resets and the mother of all opportunities to begin with consciousness and intentionality, repopulating our lives. So I think the opportunity for you and for me that I want to direct us to very simply today is to draw off of the tools that are foundational in communities of faith like this anyway. Tools of consciousness, tools of awareness, to create those spaces, whether it's quiet or whatever you need to do so, to start noticing the role things play in your life. And it will be a hit and miss thing. There will be moments of joy and moments of pain as you bring consciousness and awareness and intentionality to what I'm directing you to. Because what I'd like you to do is look at the people, things, events, experiences, what you filled your life with before everything got altered so radically. Excuse me. And what you'd like to fill your life with next. And here's the question I'd like you to ask. Does X, Y, or Z thing, whatever it might be, want me to be more of me or less of me? Does it give me the experience of more of me or less of me? If I am honest, I'll just use people. There are people in my life before all this, some with whom I can't not be in relationship with, but some that I can choose to be in relationship with, and certainly all of whom I can choose to be in relationship with in a different way. But there were people in my life, there are people in my life who say they love me, who say they want me in their world, or who just say they like me and they want me in their world. But only if I play a specific role in their world. Only if I show up in a specific way in their world. Well, that's not wanting me. That's wanting me as long as I am less of me. You know those conversations you might have with somebody about, maybe it's about work, or it's about a friend that you know from book club, but you don't know from church. And you'd be like, well, I can't really talk to her about that because blank. Or I can't really talk to him about that because blank. Whatever those I can't talk with, I can't share this with people are, whoever those people are, maybe you don't need to eliminate them, but I think I would bring some consciousness to that. Because what you're saying fundamentally, what I'm saying fundamentally when I say that, is I can't show up fully to this person. They need me to be less of me. By contrast, there are people, decidedly people that I am blessed with in my life, as well as circumstances and events, but we'll stick with people that I am blessed with in my life, that when I am with them, they call me to more of me. Sometimes joyfully, sometimes uncomfortably, but nevertheless, they see me in my highest self and they call me to more of myself. And they do it with such love that when I am with them, I feel like me. When I am with them, I feel like more of me. And there are things, like I said, events, activities, things that I do, ways of behaving in my life, that when I do them, I feel like more of me. And that's the point. The point is to show up to life's inevitable uncertainties that we have been absolutely leveled by for the last year. The point is to show up to the gift of the last year, which is this profound reminder. If you've been showing up with any openness or good faith around the things that have been happening, we've been living in this profound reminder that tomorrow is decidedly not promised. And as Mary Oliver puts it, we get one wild and precious life. And what I propose to you in this moment is that life is fundamentally uncertain. The joys and pains are going to come and go, like this moment. They're going to pass through the only space where you experience them and the only space in which you have power and influence, and that is here in your life. And in that space, it's not about the thing that passes through, but how you show up to it, how you greet it as information, not indictment. And that going forward in this space, you have the opportunity now, more so than you've ever had in your life, to honor the elimination diet that has been the last 12 months, and to consciously begin choosing to populate your life more and more through trial and error with people and things that call you to more of you, not less. Because after this, it is time to step from a world of less and into a life of more. And you can do that. One joyful choice at a time, one quality yes or quality no at a time, sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes joyful, always bringing you ever more into ever more. Thank you for listening to that. I'm going to grab my guitar and share one more song with you to wrap all this up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, what a joy and a privilege to be with you today. Thank you so much for the privilege and honor of your time. And whether you're watching this in person or as part of the service time itself or afterwards, I hope that this added something of value to your day, something that you can bring with you and be of use to you on your journey. It's been a total privilege for me. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with this song here that is about this journey we got going on here, right? This thing that we get to step from a world of less into a life of more. That's going to involve some choices like we've been talking about. That's what this is about. It's about what you should be picking up and what you should be setting down, or what you can be. Let's leave those should out, shall we? Anyway, enough talking. Here's the song. This is a song called Give Up Now. Don't worry. It's positive. I see the look that's in your eyes. thoughts all dressed in black. You got your mind going where there ain't no coming back. But you're a bird upon the sand, running from the ocean's grasp, forgetting that your ticket out's there folded up upon your back. So give up your fears, give up your doubts, give up the thought that you were born to learn to live without. Give up your pain, the cross you carved into your heart. These are the only things you should give up, and give up now. I've stood on the ground, you stand, tied up and walked inside those shoes. I know the bite of every rock and stone when it finally gets to cutting through. Just stick to the path ahead, trust that the storms will come and pass. Even the darkest night's just there, so the stars get to come out and dance. So give up your fears, give up your doubts, give up the thought that you were born to learn to live without. Give up your pain, the cross you carved into your heart. These are the only things you should give up, and give up now. I ain't speaking out of turn, I am the dream of you that yearns, the ghost that rattles in your head, keeps you tossing in your bed, with a lesson still unlearned, an ache inside that burns, the thought that's in your head, the only distance left to tread, the thought that's in your head, the only distance left. So give up your fears, give up your doubts, give up the thought that you were born to learn to live without. Give up your pain, the cross you carved into your heart. These are the only things you should give up, and give up now. Give up your fears, give up your doubts, give up the thought that you were born to learn to live without. Give up your pain, the cross you carved into your heart. These are the only things you should give up, and give up now. These are the only things you should give up, and give up now. These are the only things you should give up, and give up now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Stay safe, distance, mask. Do what we need to do to take care of each other, not for now. Be good to you, be good to each other. Much love.
Thank you so much for showing up for yourself and opening your heart to the philosophy of unity. We are all one, and we are showing up in this universe as a reflection of the divine. And when we talk about tithing, it's an aspect of giving back, yes, but also feeding your soul immediately. I used to be a little resistant to tithing. I didn't really understand it, and I've come to a greater understanding now, which is when I give, I am teaching my subconscious that I have enough. And when your subconscious knows that you have enough, abundance comes into your life because you're speaking about prosperity into your life. And so the more you give, the more you receive. It sounds like an oxymoron, but the truth of the matter is, as you nurture your universe, as you give of yourself, as you go outside of your comfort zone and serve others, abundance and love comes into your life. And so I offer you this message as an encouragement to engage in tithing in all aspects of your life. And here at Unity, we depend on each other to keep Unity going. It is you, it is me, it's everyone in this community that keeps the doors open and the music singing and the wise words being shared here. So whatever you can do to give, check in with yourself and see what's comfortable for you. And then please support Unity. If you like what's going on here and you want to see it continue, it's really up to you. It's up to you and it's up to me. So let's make it happen and blow the roof off this place and spread more love throughout Birmingham and the world. So please give generously. Please think about us weekly. Put us into your budget weekly, and let's see what blossoms this spring for all of us here. Thanks again. I love you from my heart. Thank you again for coming. I hope you enjoyed today. And please hang in there. We're going to do our annual meeting now, and we would love for you to join us virtually at home. And for those of you that are here in the sanctuary, we'll be having our annual meeting and voting on our new board members and giving you an update on the well-being of the church and future fun things that we have planned and dreams and visualizations. So let's all participate together and make Unity Birmingham the best that it can be. Love you. And now for our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you for showing up for yourself today and coming together as a community. I love you. We all love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.